The W212 Mercedes-Benz E-Class, launched in 2009, is often remembered as the last truly solid, timeless E-Class before touchscreens and fake exhausts took over. But beneath that elegant design hides a huge variety of engines, from fuel-sipping diesels to the thunderous 6.2 AMG. So today we're going to break down every single engine option of the pre-facelift W212. Look at their strengths, their weak spots, and how they perform in the real world. At the end, we'll compare all of them in one acceleration chart, from the slowest to the absolute beast. So let's get started. E200 CDI, 2.1-liter diesel, 136 horsepower. The entry-level engine. It's not fast, let's be honest, but it's reliable, efficient, and surprisingly smooth for its size. The 2.1 CDI is part of the OM651 family, which means it's capable of huge mileage, but it also comes with its demons. Injector seals that like to leak, timing chain rattle if oil changes are skipped, and occasionally a clogged DPF. Still, for everyday commuting, it gets the job done. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, about 10.2 seconds. Now, let's see how fast it gets to 100 kilometers per hour in real life. Now, the petrol alternative. The E200 CGI uses Mercedes' M271 turbocharged engine, smooth and fairly punchy. But here's the catch. These engines are known for timing chain issues and oil leaks from the camshaft adjusters. Performance-wise, it's decent, enough for daily driving and quieter than the diesel. Just don't expect thrills. It's more about comfort than excitement. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, around 8.5 seconds. Let's see how it accelerates. E220 CDI, 2.1-liter diesel, 170 horsepower. The E220 CDI is the sweet spot for many owners. It has the same OM651 base, but tuned for a better balance between efficiency and power. Torque delivery is strong, and fuel consumption stays low. Maintenance is key though. Ignore the oil changes, and the timing chain will remind you why that's a mistake. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, around 8.4 seconds. Now, let's move on to the acceleration. E250 CDI, 2.1-liter diesel, 204 horsepower. This is the maxed out 2.1 diesel. It pulls surprisingly well for a 4-cylinder and feels much livelier than the E220. Same issues as the rest of the OM651 family, but overall, it's one of the most popular engines for a reason. Strong, efficient, and doesn't feel cheap. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, about 7.5 seconds. Now, let's take a look to the acceleration. E250 CGI, 1.8-liter turbo petrol, 204 horsepower. Now, same horsepower, but petrol. The E250 CGI feels smoother and more refined than its diesel twin. However, the M271 turbo engines had their quirks. Timing chain, PCV valve problems, and occasionally oil consumption. Still, it's one of the better petrol choices if you want quiet cruising and decent power. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, roughly 7.6 seconds. Now, let's take a look to the acceleration. E300 CDI, 3.0-liter V6 diesel, 231 horsepower. Here we step up to the V6 diesels. The E300 CDI is powered by the OM642, a solid engine known for its smoothness and massive torque. But it does have its share of expensive problems. Swirl flap motors, oil cooler leaks, and those pesky EGR issues. Still, when maintained properly, this engine can go hundreds of thousands of kilometers easily. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, 7.2 seconds. Now, let's take a look to the acceleration. E350 CDI, 3.0-liter V6 diesel, 231 to 265 horsepower. The E350 CDI came in two versions, both based on the same OM642 block. The later 265 horsepower version was a real sleeper, effortless torque, quiet operation, and great highway economy. It's the perfect long-distance cruiser, as long as you can afford the maintenance. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, 6.2 seconds for the 265 horsepower model. Now, let's take a look to the acceleration. E350, 3.5-liter V6 petrol, 272 horsepower. Naturally aspirated, smooth, and one of the last Mercedes V6s before downsizing began. It uses the M272 engine, a good one when it's healthy, but it has a famous issue, the balance shaft gear failure. Fixing that? Painful and expensive, otherwise it's silky, refined, and has that proper Mercedes feel. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, 6.9 seconds. Let's see how it accelerates. E350 CGI, 3.5-liter V6 petrol, 292 horsepower. An evolution of the same engine, the CGI version adds direct injection, improving efficiency and response. Still, it inherits the same potential issues as the earlier M272. When working right though, it's one of the most pleasant petrol engines in the lineup. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, 6.5 seconds. Let's see how it accelerates. E500's 5.5-liter V8, 388 horsepower. Now we're getting serious. The E500 is powered by the M273 V8. Big, naturally aspirated, and incredibly satisfying to drive. It's fast, it's smooth, and it sounds glorious. But it's also thirsty, and again, timing chain tensioners and intake manifold flaps can be problematic. Still, this engine gives the W212 its true luxury muscle character. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, about 5.2 seconds. Let's see how it accelerates. E63 AMG, 6.2-liter V8, 525 horsepower. The legend, the naturally aspirated 6.2-liter M156 V8, a proper masterpiece. Hand-built, brutally powerful, and raw in all the right ways. It's the kind of engine that defines the era. Loud, mechanical, and unapologetic. Of course, it comes with its own list of issues. Head bolts, cam lifters, but when it works, it's pure magic. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, 4.5 seconds flat. Now, let's see how it accelerates. Keep in mind, the acceleration times can vary depending on many factors, like tire condition, weather, fuel quality, or whether the car was going uphill or downhill. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more detailed breakdowns like this one. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.